Once in a while, I see a card made with a new product or die set, and I absolutely have to get it and make a card like it. Does that happen to you too? Hello and welcome to Karen's Creative Cards on YouTube. I am Karen Hashik, and this is the Anna Griffin Kirigami die set that I just had to have. Isn't that gorgeous? Here is one of the first cards I made, and you'll see why I absolutely had to have this. This is the oval one, which is my favorite. And then when this is pulled, that opens up like that with that gorgeous Kirigami paper. On the inside is a wax seal and some new dies from Spellbinders, and I'll be doing a video soon with more of those. Again, this is what the front cover of the Kirigami cut dies look like, and this is the die set that you get. Each one has an outside die and then the inside that cuts those very delicate Kirigami folds. Now, Kirigami is a variation of origami, the Japanese art of folding paper. In Kirigami, the paper is cut as well as being folded, resulting in a three-dimensional design that stands away from the paper. So, I did a search because there was no links on that one that I saw, and I found this die set at Anna Griffin's website and also on HSN, where it's currently on sale. So of course I immediately ordered it. Now the link is in the description box, as well as links to my blog posts with many more details on the cards that I'm sharing. Here's the first card I made. As I showed you on that die set, you can choose to cut the outside of whatever shape you're using and put it on another color. And then later on, I'm going to try one where I'm not going to cut the outside. I'm just going to cut just the inside piece and have it come up with the same pattern on the back. I think that'll be really pretty. But I had this new stamp that I'd been sitting there, and I wanted to find a fun way to use it. I made this really pretty card. This is with new Tonic Studios papers that I had, and as I open it, this circle opens up. And can you see what that says? We've been trying to reach you about your car's extended warranty. I just thought that would be sure to get a laugh from whoever gets this. I know it cracks me up. That stamp was another one that I saw. It's from Kindred Stamps. And I saw it on a card and I went, I have to get that. I love to use humor on my cards. It looks so beautiful and serious, and then you pull the string for a laugh out loud moment for sure. Here's a wedding card that I made with the square one. Isn't that pretty? More Tonic Studios papers. I thought that was a very pretty way to make a wedding card. I would say that the oval is my favorite. It's just, just the most dramatic when you pull it. I used some 49 and Market rub-on transfers on this card. It's a new set that I got, Elena rub-on transfers from Art Options by Elena, and I put it on this paper before I even cut it. And then when you pull it, isn't that gorgeous? Those rub-ons underneath there, and the way this opens up to show that. I'm just in love with this look, and I made a bunch of cards, as you can tell. So I also got another new product recently. This is the Pink Fresh Rainbow Floral Washi Tape, and you put it down on a piece of cardstock and you can cut it out perfectly with this matching die set. So I made this card with that. One of the pieces that you cut out is a wreath, and then there's other individual flowers. And then I had this idea that if I put it on the inside of the card, it would open up. I used a glue dot to attach it here, and then of course it's attached around the edges there. And I thought that was a really fun way to use it too. See how it opens? With some more of those pretty pink flesh flowers, and a couple sentiments from Sue Wilson. Here's what a wreath looks like when you cut it out. You can either cut it out of a colored cardstock, which is the pink, or out of the white, whichever you prefer. I did both. So those were some new products that I was playing with when I was playing with making cards with this die set. So I'm going to show you how easy it is to make a card with this die set, and I am going to use the oval. And this time, instead of cutting out the piece in advance, I'm going to and then putting it on a card front, I'm going to cut it right out of the card front itself. I have some really pretty scenery paper here from Reminisce. This one's called Fisherman's Dream. And I have cut, I wanted a larger card. When I had tried this idea with, I wanted the oval because, like I said, the oval is my favorite. I think it's the most dramatic when it opens. And when I just had a regular 5x7, there was just barely a little room here and here. So I went ahead and cut a larger piece of card front, card base. It's 11x8 and folded in half. And it will fit into my largest envelope, which is a 5 3/4 by 8 3/4, which is technically a number 6 envelope. So I have a nice big piece of this scenery, and I am going to cut this Kirigami die right out of the center of this. Now on my die cut machine, I meant to turn it on and get it set. I have to have it off camera. It's too big to be on camera. I found on my die cut machine, and you'll have to experiment with yours, but this is a really, really delicate and detailed die. And I got the best cuts using a precision plate. Again, you can try it on yours, but I found that I got the best cuts doing this with the precision plate. Get out some of these pieces that I need while I cut it. So I've cut an oval with a Crealise oval stitched die, and that's going to be underneath the opening. And I'm going to put a cord through it and a bird. So I'm ready there. So again, this is a really detailed die, really intricate. So I'm pulling it off carefully. And going to work these a little bit to separate them. So this inside will be pulled up. I'm going to be able to pull it up better once I get a string through there, so I think I'll do that next. Now what I've been doing is taking a very thin gold cord and folding it in half and putting it through that very small hole. Now you could make that hole bigger and use a ribbon, but what I've been doing is taking a floss threader and putting that through that little hole with the cord around it, and then just pulling it through, and it's that easy to thread that. Otherwise it is a struggle. And then I figure out how much of that cord do I want on the top and make sure that's a good loop there. And there wasn't really, I couldn't find any videos exactly what was suggested to do. If I try to tie this now, it kept wanting to come through. So what I've been doing is taking a small glue dot and just pushing that down, supposedly on that end of that cord. And that's going to hold that in place while I tie this in a knot. If I can get my fingers to work. And then I'm going to trim it. Now we don't want this piece here to be sticking to the card front, so I'm going to use a little bit of my EK Success powder tool, and I'm just going to neutralize that glue dot. I'm going to make it totally not sticky. Okay. And then from this side, I'm going to pull up and separate. All of those delicate sides. Some of them are being stubborn, but it's still really pretty, the look you get. This side doesn't want to come up. Anyway, and you see that how the pretty scene continues is really pretty, and then you open it and then you see what's underneath. I just love the look. So I have created, again, I took another piece of that scenery picture. When I watched Anna Griffin doing her demonstrations on HSN, she had a whole nother scene underneath. So I am going to kind of try to do that, but in this case I cut it out with an oval. So I have, I'm going to take a pencil and mark where the sides are and the top. Try not to mark right on the paper. So I kind of know where the center is, and I'm going to, then again, maybe not, huh? I'm going to use glue anyway, so let's use glue to attach this. And you basically want it centered, kind of using those marks. This Thinking of You is a Karen Berniston die, and I just love to have Thinking of You cards on hand. They could be for sympathy, but they could be for other, I'm not a big fan of get well cards. I much prefer to say thinking of you, hoping you're going to get well, but that's not always the case, but hope you're better soon. Or it could even be a birthday card, thinking of you on your birthday. And this one would be a gorgeous one to send to just anybody. I'm sure they would love it. So as I was saying, the earlier ones that I made, I cut that whole oval out and then put it back in. But I am trying this one, just keeping it right in the designer paper. And I don't even have to try to line it up like I did in some that I did earlier. And then I thought I would just add a single bird. That's an IO Impression Obsession die set that I have up here. So you can see that gorgeous sunset view with a single bird, and then they'll see this and they'll say, what happens when you pull this? And they'll open it up and it will say, thinking of you. Isn't that beautiful? I just love how those turned out. Here's a couple more cards that I made. This is, as you see, that same paper, and I tried it with the circle, and in this case I did cut it out, so then I lined it back up before I put it back in, put a couple more birds, and this one says, wishing you peace, which is a lovely idea. I do wish everyone peace, especially when you're going through a difficult time, and like I said, the oval was my favorite, so I think this one's actually like this, yeah. Here's to new beginnings. That's another pretty Sue Wilson sentiment die, and I put some more of those 49 and Market rub-ons in there. And then it opens up and says, couldn't be more excited for you, with a couple more pretty rub-ons and another Crealise oval there in the center. I just love how these cards turn out. You can tell that I really had fun, and I hope my cards encourage you to try some of the products and ideas I shared, and that you find some time to play and create this week.